Welcome to the Small Business Collaboration Summit, David Python.
Thank you so much, Miriam.
You are the co-founder and CEO of Cariuma, a fashion brand selling very, if I may say so, Insta-worthy casual sneakers. You are a Brazilian based in Singapore and have very much put the spirit of Brazil into your brand, very vibrant, very fun and summery. Now, previously, you worked for a major shoe manufacturer, Arezzo&Co.
Yeah.
You have a degree in engineering and an MBA from Harvard Business School. What prompted you to branch out from a successful career with a big company to start your own business?
Thanks for that, Miriam. It's a pleasure to collaborate and to be part of it. Thanks for the question, because as a co-founder, it has to involve and to start with a very important reason why. And the dream of building Cariuma from scratch was both from me and my co-founder, Fernando Porto, to take what we feel as the most important things Brazil and Rio can contribute to the world and find a way to reach a global audience of people like us that want to feel warmer, to feel they're having more fun, that they're connected to real people, enjoying the daily pleasures of life and not living a cold digital life. And we found our way to express that through what we have experience on and what we think really embodies this spirit, that are the sneakers. They're super casual, that can be used in every occasion and can bring to your daily life this little taste of being in Rio.
Now, you've recently moved to Singapore, so obviously looking now to expand your business beyond South America, and obviously looking at your social media. This is, your sneakers can be sold all around the world. How has collaboration added to your business growth? Obviously coming from another country into a new country and trying to start, I guess, from scratch in a whole new continent. What role has collaboration played in that growth for you?
Well, a gigantic role, Miriam, I can say. And that's not specific for Cariuma's business model to go directly to the consumer or to the fashion or to the e-commerce. I think this is a super strong point for any small business, because there's just so much we can do when we need to leverage on other people's effort, other people's belief to join the mission that we're all pursuing. So it has a vital component to our success for sure.
Is there a particular collaboration that you are very proud of that you have achieved in your career, whether it's through Cariuma or prior?
Absolutely, and a good way to, a good example is actually at Cariuma. We had just launched the brand early May, pop-up shop in Los Angeles. And after 1 month, I received a call from people that I knew from previous life, but I had never directly worked with, but that had interacted with me before and admired my work, saw the complete adherence between myself and my beliefs and how I behave, the culture I always try to build, and what Cariuma represents. And this person happens to be a prominent distributor in the European market. So this is already an example of how to achieve collaboration, because if there's a match between what you do and who you are, people engage and trust that, or and believe that this is something to be part of. And what was done right after, I think, was even stronger, because the moment I understood who was on the other side of the line, I said, thanks, it's such an honor to be contacted. Can we meet tomorrow there? I took a plane overnight and was right on the next afternoon there from Singapore to Europe, to really understand what was that person's vision to the brand for their local market, to really engage them and show that this wasn't a transaction. This was really something that was important to me, and how I spend my time was with that person, trying to understand their objective with the brand, with their market.
Now, when you're a small business and you are trying to grow, obviously when you get these kind of big opportunities, that's fantastic. But trying to grow when you're a couple of people in a team, it's a struggle because everyone kind of does everything.
Yeah.
Have you used other small businesses to kind of fill in talent gaps as you've grown your business?
One who designed or who developed our website, New Zealand agency. So imagine, we're Brazilians established in Singapore, aiming the world, building the website with a New Zealander company. And another one is who helped us design the physical expression for the brand on our pop-up shops, because we launched in May with a pop-up shop in Los Angeles, and we now have a pop-up in Soho on Prince Street. And this is a one-person company based in London. So, and what's the rationale behind both contexts? It's really to, as a small company, and to as a leader on this small company, but that's something everyone in a 2, 5, or 10 people team should be spending, is to allocate a portion of time to meet new people and to really put your word out there, and more than telling or asking how they can help, is really spending good amount of time trying to tell what you're trying to achieve on the broader side of things, or what's your mission behind your company, because people will direct you to interesting people. And that's how we found this New Zealand company, agency, that had this fashion angle, this mindset much more aligned with us than any other agency that was more structured. It didn't matter. We had this broader alignment. And the same thing with this person in London that really helped us putting together the concept behind our pop-up shops.
And that's really something we're trying to encourage at Busy, is for the businesses to start to look at what complementary services and businesses can support their growth, and all marching together to the same vision.
Yes.
And not being fearful of the fact that you may be placed in different continents.
Exactly.
To be able to start those conversations, network, and use technology to be able to form this collaboration of businesses around the world who are all working together.
That's when technology plays on your favor, but also when we have to be mindful of when there's just so much a video conference can do, and you really have to jump on a plane to be in front of the person so you can have a more relaxed conversation and get the right information over a dinner right afterwards, for example.
Now, obviously, trust plays a huge role, because you're entrusting other businesses all over the world to deliver to a particular standard, particular times. How do you establish trust when you are working with other partners?
Good. In our case, it has been always to clearly state what's our main objective and how we see our role in attaining that, in the other business role in attaining that. If we have this common understanding, things will be much more fluid. And then I would say that it's how we do from one side, on the sourcing side in manufacturing, to retailers. On the sourcing side, we are so serious about the product. Our brand is so much about bringing fun to people, but we're dead serious about the quality, the stitching, the finishing, the production process. And many times on the manufacturing side, that's seen as a hurdle. But how you can really tell them what we are as a brand, what we're trying to bring to customers, that's super important. And we even took, for example, our customer service manager to the factory to tell them customer cases and to speak from their heart, either comments, feedbacks, positive, how that is important to building the brand. That is our macro objective. And on the other side, retailers, there's always this concern of being a digital first brand. What's the role of a retailer? But in the end of the day, we're all trying to build a brand and clearly explaining who we think the retailer's audience is and how that matches to the profile they're trying to achieve. That already brings a common understanding of what's in the end of the day each one's role in building Cariuma into a global brand. So I would say that's the main thing that I've always tried to pursue.
Has a collaboration that you've been involved with ever not gone the way you wanted it to? Has it failed? And what did you learn from that experience?
Many times, Miriam. Great question, because especially as a small business owner, you have to have this belief and the resilience to wait for the yes after 8 no's. And a good example is with our tries to launch product collaborations with different brands, and it's a matter of really be persistent until that one yes happens, because we're very of course in a negotiation or in a contact, all we know is what's on our side of the table, right? And you have to just be free of the concerns that no invalidates what you're doing. But sometimes it's not the proper timing on the other side. Sometimes it's another small business that has another priority for that moment. Sometimes it's a completely different thing that made them say no than the actual thing that they're saying at that moment because of different incentives. So be persistent and wait and go out there, especially in a small company. Every single person plays a leadership position, and that belief has to be there on a daily basis after 7 no's. And in my opinion, that's one of the reasons why I sometimes give up in the middle, because entrepreneurship is about resilience for sure.
And what role has courage played in really enabling you to just push beyond your comfort zone, and what rewards has that given you?
Yeah, courage has played an enormous role, I can say, Miriam. As you said, it was a steady corporate life and career back in Brazil with a 4-year-old son and my wife. And that was a lot of courage from myself and from my co-founder to move our families and our life across the globe. But even more important is the courage for everyone to join us, to help us pursue this dream. So the biggest reward has been to see who has joined the brand, not only customers, retailers, but most importantly, those, for example, very talented Singaporeans that we have on the team that decided to join Cariuma to take our brand global.
So just to end our interview today, I was just wondering if you can share what you feel are the key elements to creating a sustainable and successful collaboration.
2 things. First, I already mentioned, that is to always start with a clear understanding of what's the bigger objective being pursued on that. That mitigates being involved on a transactional basis, and more on the broader objective that both parties are trying to pursue. And second is to over-communicate. Over time, anxiety is built. If there's no channel or bridge for people to really express themselves, leads to bad. Fear builds up, anxiety builds up, and that common understanding of the broader objective everyone is trying to pursue just fades away, and no one understands why. Sometimes it's just bad communication.
Thank you for sharing your insights. They were very practical, they were very real, and we know that there'll be a lot of takeaways for the small business owners who have watched your interview. So thank you very much. I'm exceptionally grateful for your time today.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Miriam. Not only to share my experience, that also helps building the belief, but to somehow be useful to someone out there. And I'll tell you, I'm at your disposal to continue collaborating in any way that you think.